Welcome back, everybody. This is Herbie with my Nomadic Dream, and I want to talk to you guys about how to find work camping jobs. Most of you guys already know about all the different websites and the groups on Facebook and just how to do it, but there's a lot of new people that don't, and this is more for them. So let's get started. So number one will have to be Facebook groups. Work campers, work camping jobs with wages. There's just so many. And it's really simple. You just make a profile picture, right? With you, your rig, a dog, or your wife and kids or whatever. And just give bulletin points on what you know how to do. And information like how long you've done this type of job. Like I was this for 5 years, I was this for 3 years, and that's just a easy, quick thing that you can post on those pages, and employers will hit you up. Former employees or current employees at certain places will say, hey, this place is hiring, we need the help, you should contact so and so. And that's the quickest, easiest way, because you get to talk directly to the person. You don't have to wait around and hope to hear back. You can actually go right to the source. But another one is websites. All right, workampers.com, that's a paid one, but they usually have bulletins posted every day all over the US. A lot of them are basically couples, not solos, not singles. So that's something to think about before paying for that membership, that a lot of those are only looking for couples. Some are paid, some are not, but in exchange for working X amount of hours, you can get a free site. So if that's something that you want to do, that's great. Another thing is national parks. Not just the national park itself, like a hotel or something like that, but the hotels, the restaurants, everything that's centralized around that national park. They usually hire work campers because a lot of national parks aren't really that close to larger towns. They're usually close to smaller towns, and there's just not enough people in that area to cover all the work that's needed in that town during busy season, along with the hotels, the restaurants that may be in the national park. So that's another option. And state parks. But unfortunately, a lot of state parks are volunteer positions, to where you have to work X amount of hours in exchange to have your site waived. There's a lot of volunteer work camping jobs out there, which that might be something for me. Maybe this year, next year, 5 years down the road. I don't know. But I will say this, when it comes to work camping, you do want to be sort of picky on where you go, because you're not just trying to find a free site to work and get money. You're also on vacation. This is what this whole life is about, as being a nomad and work camping, is getting paid to vacation. So, with that being said, if I find a really good spot that I want to be at, there's a lot of stuff around there, that's when I would consider a volunteer camp host position. Usually they don't, want you to work more than like 19, 20 hours or so, or maybe even as little as 12 in exchange for your site. But you were there around everything that you want to do. So that's something really important to remember. Let's get to the website. Coolworks.com, that's one. A KOA website. With KOA, they do tend to hire couples, but a bunch of them do hire solos. And they're starting to get lenient with the whole van life, bus life type thing within reason. But when it comes to KOA, there is a uniform. It's bright yellow. A lot of times there is site fees. It could be, $100 a month. It could be $290 a month. It could be $500 a month or whatever. So that's something to think about. But with KOA, they're nationwide. So once you learn their systems, you're like the next person on the list for the next season. So if you know how to do KOA, that just opens your doors to be able to be hired quicker than people that haven't worked for KOA before. So that's something to think about. Land and leisure, same type of thing, kind of like KOA uniform, but you don't have to pay for your site. It is included, and you get paid. Land and leisure only gives you 1 day off, not 2. That's something different. But I'm sure it's all dependent on what area you are in. And another thing with land and leisure, they're also nationwide. So it ain't like going to the same RV park year after year. You can venture off. 1 year you could be in Utah, next year you can be in Michigan or whatever. There's Vista Recreation, but I think they have recently been bought out by Explorus, which is another place like Land and Leisure. So basically these companies that I just mentioned, those 3, they bid on forced campgrounds. All right. Lowest bidder usually wins. So if Land and Leisure says, well, I can run these 50 campgrounds in this area for $2 million a year, right? So they're paying for those campgrounds for that season. And the whole purpose of like Land and Leisure, Vista, is to make profit from the sales of renting campsites. So they pay the Forest Service to give them those contracts, and then they try to make money on top of that. So that's why the wages for work camping isn't a lot. But yeah, there's tons of websites. Facebook is by far, I think, the best because it just gives you a broader window and more people can see your resume rather than applying here, applying there, applying here and there. But work camping will not make you rich. And that's okay, because you should not be in this life trying to work camp if you were trying to make a sustainable career. I'm sure it's possible, but a lot of these jobs pay minimum wage, maybe more, maybe even more. But you are getting paid to vacation. And if you do it right, you only have to work 5-6 months out of the year and then take the rest of the year off. Or if you want to work camp here, work camp there and here throughout the whole year so that you're working constantly, then that's fine too. But don't expect to try to find a work camping job where you're making $30 an hour, 40 hours a week, because it's not going to happen, right? So say you were making $15 an hour, you get your site for free. And if they normally rent those sites for $30 a night and you're staying for 6 months, do the math. You're not paying rent. So you're actually making really, really good money. But yeah, it's important to try to find a job when you're a nomad. It could be YouTube, it could be a digital, social media of some sorts, or just simple labor. And then there's always the unbeatable beet harvest, which is every October. Michigan has one, and I think there's 3 other states. I want to say like Montana, North Dakota, or something like that. But it's basically a 14-day job. But but you had to commit to the whole month of October. If you're lucky, it's just 14, 15 days, boom, 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 and then you can walk away with up to $4,300, I think. So that's always an option. So you can work camp and then go there if it works out time-wise. But yeah, there's plenty of options. It's nothing to worry about. And if worst case comes, go to an RV park, one that maybe has like long-term fees. There's a few that I found here in Arizona where you can rent a space for the whole year for like $5,000. And then you can just get a normal job. You know, I can go drive truck, for example. And I can have my camper at my spot. My dog will be safe with the AC, and I can go work a 9 to 5 for the whole year. But even if you have to do a regular job, you don't have to stay forever. If you decide to leave after 6 months or 8 months, you got to do what's best for you. So don't feel as if you're letting somebody down, because the only person that you will be letting down is yourself if you don't live your life. So yeah, I hope you were able to learn something from this. It's really not difficult. It's finding work. We've all done it in the normal world, and it's no different here, except in this life, there's actually places that only want to hire work campers. So that's always something good. Oh, if you got a dog, make sure to ask the question, do you allow pets? Because that's important. But yeah, like with anything, ask about the benefits, the hours, how many days a week, you know, do they allow rigs over 10 years old, you know, all the basic stuff. Yeah, just put yourself out there and you'll find work. Or you can just come to Quartzsite too for the big tent, and all those work camping companies are usually there looking to hire people on the spot. So find a job, enjoy your life, and later guys, bye.